Scouts, it's Lexi back with week 2 of the virtual challenges. Today's Friday, so we're going to do another healthy living challenge. Last week we did meditation, so continuing on with that, I'm going to have you try yoga. So keep following along because I'll give you different yoga for your different age group. I'm going to give you a little bit of history of yoga because yoga has been around for over 5,000 years. Some people say it can even be tracked back to 10,000 years ago. So back 5,000 or so years, yoga started in India, and it was mostly about scriptures, about mantras, about rituals, and it started off being written texts and how can you get into a state of enlightenment. So yoga can be divided into 4 different sections that really created the innovation, the practice, and the development of yoga. So let's go over those 4 different sections real quick. So the first section we're going to talk about is pre-classical yoga. That is what I was just talking about 5,000 years ago when it developed in India. It was first manufactured into sacred texts. And in those texts, which were called the Rig Veda or Veda, there were a collection of texts containing songs, mantras, and rituals to be used by the Vedic priests. So yoga was slowly refined over time, and then what was taught was more about sacrificing your ego, and through self-knowledge you can then become enlightened. After pre-classical yoga, we have classical yoga, and unlike pre-classical yoga, classical yoga was pretty much manufactured into a streamlined way to become enlightened. In pre-classical yoga, there was a bunch of mismatch of different religions and different opinions and ideas on what yoga was. So in classical yoga times, there were yogis that streamlined the process for an 8-step path to reaching enlightenment through the different moves and steps from yoga. So after classical yoga, we have the post-classical yoga era. This was a few centuries later, and it was more about rejuvenating the body. So there was a way to cleanse the body and a way to really break the knots that bind us to our physical existence. It was more about leaning into your physical body and how that can get you to enlightenment. Through cleansing it, rejuvenating it, relaxing it, stretching it, getting to know your physical boundaries as well as everyone else's. So we're moving away from ancient texts and we've gone to what we know as yoga now. For the last one, modern yoga. So we know what modern yoga looks like today in the western area of the world. And basically what happened is during the post-classical yoga, yogis started moving towards the West and started getting more attention for yoga and getting more followers for yoga. And now that we have modern yoga, there are tons of millions of schools, different styles to yoga, and different people becoming yogis and even going back to India to teach the new modern yoga. So yoga has gone through quite a historical timeline, and it's really something that you can really make into your own. So you might be wondering, what is the point of doing yoga? Are there any benefits? And I can tell you, if you ask anyone who is a profound lover of yoga, they will all tell you that there is plentiful amounts of benefits from yoga. Some of the things could be body tension going away, the nervous system and emotions become calm again, you can rethink, recharge, you have a sense of renewal in your mind, your body, and your spirit, and you can build an awareness with your body of how it feels, what's wrong, what needs to be fixed, and you can also increase your awareness of needs for other people and for yourself. So to do yoga, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to want a water bottle with cold water and possibly some ice cubes because you always want to replenish your liquids when you're sweating, and you will be sweating. You'll also need a yoga mat or a towel, which is optional. It's just more comfortable on the ground. You'll also need clothing that you can move around in, so no jeans or tight pants that are uncomfortable. And I like to go barefoot, but you can also wear tennis shoes if you'd like. You also need a big enough space for you to move around. If your living room has, big enough space for you to do that, or your room, either one where you're not going to be hitting or bumping into anything. And lastly, you're going to need something to watch the YouTube video on. So if it's on your phone or on your TV, if your TV has YouTube, or a computer or something like that. As long as you can get access to the video so that you are able to follow along, then that is all you need. So get those ready and then we will get started. So I've chosen 2 different videos, one for the younger Girl Scouts and one for the older Girl Scouts. If you're younger, this video is going to help you focus on what kind of animals and plants and things in the world that different yoga moves are named after. And if you're older, this one will get you sweating more than the younger ones. But if you're younger and you want to try the older girls video, go ahead. And the older girls, I encourage you to look at the other videos that this person has on their YouTube playlist, because they have some great ones that will really get you working out and will get you focusing on your body. So open up your links, do your things, and we will come back to discuss. So since you guys have done your yoga, I really want you to focus and maybe take time to write about how you feel afterwards. Do you feel better? Do you feel worse? Do you feel tired, sore? Do you feel relaxed, rejuvenated? How do you feel? And do you think you'll feel this way every time after yoga, or do you think the more you do it, the better you'll feel? So my challenge to you is to keep doing this at least once a day for maybe a week and just see how you feel. And if you want to, make it part of your whole routine every day. Yoga can really help you with different things depending on how you're feeling, and whenever you're focusing on your body during yoga, you can really stop and think, does my stomach hurt? Do my legs hurt? What hurts? How can I help it? So the more you hone into how your body feels, the more you'll be able to treat it. So I hope you guys liked doing some yoga, and I really encourage you to go look at last week's healthy challenge and do some meditating after yoga. So I'll see you next week.